Hi everyone, and welcome to our Catalase Lab, the kitchen edition. So we're going to try to do this Catalase Lab just using materials we can find around our kitchen. What I did, I made my 0.15 molar sodium chloride solution by weighing 2 grams of table salt on this kitchen scale, and I used parchment paper as my weigh paper. And then I dissolved the 2 grams in 250 milliliters of water to make the sodium chloride solution, which will be used to lyse the cells of our plants. The 4 plants we will be testing are baby spinach, potato, orange, and apple. So what I did is I weighed 1 gram of each of my plant samples, and then I cut it up into little pieces using these scissors. And then I placed them in a bowl, which would be my mortar. And I added a little bit of the 0.15 molar sodium chloride to mash the sample, okay, using this wooden stick, which is my pestle. So I mashed it to release the catalase from the sample. So this is what the plant samples look like after they have been mashed with sodium chloride solution. And what I will do next, I will take a piece of filter paper, dip it in the juice from the plant samples, and then test it for catalase activity in the hydrogen peroxide solution. I will use a timer on my phone to see how long it takes. When I added the sodium chloride to my plant sample, what happened is the sodium chloride went inside the cells and causing the water to follow it and causing the cells to burst to release the catalase. Okay, so after my sample is all mashed, and I did that for each of my 4 plant samples, my plan is to take this little piece of filter paper, which is really just a tiny piece of paper towel with tweezers, dip it in my the juice of my plant sample. I'm going to skip the centrifuge since I don't have one lying around the house. And then I'm going to use 1% sodium peroxide to test the catalase activity. The more catalase on the filter paper, the quicker the piece of filter paper will rise once dipped in the hydrogen peroxide. I found the hydrogen peroxide at the pharmacy. It was a 3% solution, so I had to make my 1:1 to 3 dilution to dilute it to 1%. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a little piece of filter paper, which again is just a tiny piece of paper towel, dip it in the baby spinach juice, make sure it's soaked, then take it out and place it in the hydrogen peroxide, and I will start timing as soon as it hits the liquid. And I will time how long it takes for it to rise and stop. Okay, 5 seconds and 94. So I will write down on my data chart 5.94 seconds. Next, I will take a piece of filter paper and dip it in the potato juice. And then again, place it in the hydrogen peroxide solution and start typing as long as it hits the liquid. And we will time how long it takes for it to rise to the top. The longer it takes, the less catalase. It's rising slowly, and here it goes, and stop. 14 seconds, 0.49, so 14.49 seconds. Now what's happening, the catalase in the plant sample is decomposing the hydrogen peroxide, making oxygen, and that oxygen gets trapped on that filter paper, causing it to rise to the top. Next, we're going to test the orange sample. We're going to take a piece of filter paper, dip it in the juice, and then wait, let me get my timer ready. And I'm gonna start timing as soon as it hits the liquid. And see how long it takes for it to rise to the top. Hopefully it'll rise pretty quickly because we think that oranges have a lot of antioxidants, right? Things that are good for us. But so far it has been 16 seconds and nothing is happening. I do see some oxygen forming on the filter paper, but it's not enough for it to cause it to rise to the top. We're up to 29 seconds now, and it's still not rising. I wonder what's happening. 42 seconds. Still waiting. It's up to 48, 50. It should rise. If it goes longer than 10 minutes, we're supposed to stop it. But I'm expecting it will rise before 10 minutes. So let's just give it a little bit of time. It's definitely not as fast as the baby spinach sample and the potato sample. So it actually took the orange sample 3 minutes and 26 seconds for the filter paper to rise to the top. So we'll add that as part of our data, 3 minutes and 26 seconds. Last but not least, we're going to test the apple sample. So I'll take another piece of filter paper and dip it in the apple. Okay, and then add it to the hydrogen peroxide and start timing as soon as it hits the liquid. Okay, so it actually took 6 minutes and 52 seconds for the apple filter paper to rise up to the top. So it was definitely slower than the orange. And we will write that down as part of our data. 6 minutes and 52 seconds. And that is the end of our experiment. I hope you enjoyed the kitchen edition of our Catalase Lab. Bye!